sikasɛm ampa hwee a ɛfɛ ma yɛayɛ abɔfra yɛ mpanyinfoɔ koraa ne yɛayɛ abɔfra. High Life Radio ɛna wotie sikasɛm program ɛne yɛde brɛ no your boy Patrik Barfi. Ɛnɛ ɛso yɛwɔ biribi sonkroma sɛneɛ da biara meka no sɛ woyɛ adwuma paa wotumi sɛ adwuma meyɛ adwuma biribi ɛkɔ so yɛ adwuma nso me sika menhu ano a hyɛ wɔ ha every Monday 7 to 9 p.m. yɛnyinaa yɛntwetwe sikasɛm ho nkɔmmɔ. Wɔsɛ yɛtumi yɛ sikasɛm ho adwuma mu bebree hɔ nom a ɛnyɛ sɛ yɛnyɛ adwuma yɛyɛ adwuma paa nso afɛ no bɛso no na ɔkapleti a asɛ wonhyɛ da ani hwee wɔ hɔ. Ba ha nom a yɛne wo nyinaa yɛbɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛw sɛnea wobɛsi ayɛ wɔ nneɛma a wobɛtumi anya nneɛma yie kakra. Nti no 7 to 9 p.m. every Monday yɛwɔ ha yɛtwɛn yɛama koraa no a yɛwɔ bi wɔ hɔ nom a ɛyɛ finance no deɛ ɛyɛ ho adwuma. Nti no hyia sɛdeɛ meka no da biara ɛnɛ biribi kakra ɛwɔ ma ɛyɛ how to pay off your mortgage fast. 5 tips how to pay off your mortgage fast. Invite your brother baako Alexa Champon. Yɛnyinaa yɛnim no sɛneɛ ɔsiteɛ when it comes to ɔyɛ realtor a wɔwɔ nimdeɛ ɛfa ɛdan ho ne ade. Nti ɔbɛba na wabɛboa ne yɛyɛ mpinsimu ɛwɔ ho. Before then yɛbɛtumi astate onyama ɔba a yɛde bɛba ne astate ayɛwe. Nti no yɛnhwɛ sɛ yɛbɛtua yɛ dan ka. I know say a no-go area. Kaya di enim no deɛ yɛbaeɛ no anaasɛ deɛ enim no sɛ wotɔ dan a wotua to sɛ wobɛwu. Nti no sɛ wo retire na sɛ wontua wie a either sɛ bia wobɛtɔn na wakɔpɛ biribi ketewa bi atɔ anaasɛ yɛmu a yɛayɛ adwene sɛ bia bɛkɔ akɔtena Ghana yɛbɛtɔn na bia yɛate afa Ghana. Na sɛ yɛtua paa wie deɛ ɛyɛ biribi bi a ɛni ɛnka yɛ plans ho. Wohwɛ mu a nipa bebree no saa ɛteɛ. Sɛ yɛbɛtua dan deɛ na ɛnyɛ biribi bi a ɛka plans ho koraa. Kyerɛ sɛ no go area. Ɛyɛ dɛn na wotumi tua wo dan ka. Na mmom deɛ ɛyɛ ne sɛ yɛde gye sika mom. Yɛayɛ yɛ mortgage te sɛ ATM machine. Biribi si ya herb ne akɔsan. Biribi si ya ne akɔyi. Ɛne wode yɛ mortgage ne yɛ friends yi. Yɛ retirement fund. Saa ne ayɛ no. But na yɛ biribi a yɛndwen sɛ yɛbɛtumi ayɛ da. But yɛho sɛ sesei no yɛwɔ strategies yɛbɛtumi de afa so yɛbɛtumi de atua yɛ dan ka ama no afiri hɔ no. Nti ɛno ho asɛm ɛne yɛbɛka no. Yes, yɛwɔ strategies yɛbɛtumi de atuatua saa nneɛma no nyinaa ama no afiri hɔ no. Nti yɛbɛhwɛ how a ɛyɛ wei. Na sɛ yɛyɛ sɛ yɛbɛtua yɛ dan ka sɛ your sister Rita, thanks for joining us. Well, has open so kasa link no betimi di aba. What are you late? It's the no ba brantem. Yo, eti you betua dan ka. Say them kind no go area. You broad mass add in you need to cry. But is it possible? Yes, it is. But see you trade dan ka no. And you be you fiti and you betua dan ka. Or nyama be bro your questions be also be some once. The first of all, the question is, should I pay off my mortgage? Should I pay off my mortgage? That's the question. Should I pay off my mortgage? Hey, should I pay off my mortgage? Now, that question about should I pay off my mortgage? No, there are different questions. I was it me how should I pay off my mortgage? Now, if those questions are a yes, sir, then you're ready to be your mortgage. So, I could cry into ya. I will see a corner koye ho adwuma ansa. In name say mortgage yana enough form. Now also the extra account. You know, yɛhwɛ questions a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛbisa yɛn ho ansa ne ho sɛ ɛyɛ koraa sɛ yɛbɛtua a mortgage. First one, a question yɛbɛbisa no sɛ you pay off your consumer debt nyinaa we can consumer debt we can credit cards, car notes, student loans, personal loans, those consumer debts no yɛtua no nyinaa firi hɔ anaa because ade na mekɔtua mortgage no hɔ deɛ ɛne sɛ saa nneɛma nyinaa no yana interest ɛwɔ so a ebia wotua na saa tua mortgage it doesn't make sense because especially it's a credit card interest no so bebree na wotua saa de no na wo sɛ tua wo dan ka ɛna ɛno koraa no usually no wowɔ saa te no a yana hard koraa sɛ wobɛtumi anya sika ɛde agu wo dan so because yana wo ho koraa ntɔ wo saa nti na one meka say before number one crown, do we have control of our money? Do we have control of our money? And then saying, set your budget na your control. Yen ye case ye tree sika baby uncle. Nye baby a sika na tre baby uncle. You must be brown ma sika na tre baby uncle. Hey, but are we in control of our money? Are we making sure that we know everything that and everything that goes out? You know, we make sure say BBA could be because usually we budget. Charles Maxwell can say budget is you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You may brought my any control. Scan the trade baby and they say because your payment be breeze can be twice man afifa de was safer. It will control and then first and suddenly you're making sure say have you pay off all our consumer debt. If you don't pay off all your consumer debt, it doesn't make sense. It will be starting a or mortgage. Number two, do we have emergency fund 3 to 6 months of your friend said typical expenses? When we say typical expenses, are we talking of emergency fund 3 to 6 months? No, yeah, if I say expenses, monthly expenses, every month I'm spending 5,000. I need between 15,000 to 30,000. Maybe I'm comfortable. Usually, we two people. If I say couple, more. I'd say back when say the same. But you're comfortable. No? They can usually go on 3 months instead of 6 months. Usually say Bako W2 na Bako your friend say 1099. Yana is shaky kakra usually no cost 6 months. No go so comfortable so cost 6 months. You know why do you need that? Because if you have emergency fund of 3 to 6 months, anything happens, loss of job, life never happen, you can take control of at least 6 your friend saying 3 months no when you're juma and I usually crown it and space and space say and you will lose my juma at the same time we couple you need that. So are we taking control of our money? Are we taking control of our money? Are we paying off our consumer debt? Building up our emergency fund 3 to 6 months. The next question, are we investing? Are we investing? Reason being, you don't want to not investing, then you put every money in your friends saying your home. Nipa be bro no on be poor. The only home poor because why didn't know tia na why way. Mini obi upese okasa na betimi akasa. OS actually OS. Upese okasa mama sign betimi akasa. Yo. It you know it was 6 to 3 months in fact na you invested and if it ya na chair like you we bro no try so be chair like we no na why how na we need sika bia we invest bibia it by the time I retire no na bibia asset dying and you don't want that situation. So are you investing at least 3 to 6 months 15% of your income into retirement? 15%. And I know some of your couple we invest 15% of your making, we make 15% of the making the same. So that is another the third question. And the fourth question. So are you doing college fund for them? Are you investing for the kids for their future education? Are you doing that? So these are some of the questions that I was here because what it is more ABA take loans at the school. You say your man because yeah in senior city we are a Juman Ubino on the scanning na essay loans. Are you trying say umomo be a situation umomo kumbi hey in say so college no kwa na ekosro enye bibi ejina faako. So these are questions you need to ask. Now one cry titima and I say when you one cry na yana really it doesn't really make sense say obestati etria odanka. But so when you no eto in place so sure ebia you preach na you preach wo ha no ekyerɛ sɛ you make sure certain we na make a phone nneɛma wei ho say you make sure say you are free from those things. Now when you say na say the be America no say when you pay off all your debt now you start you have emergency fund you start investing and you put in money in your case college education it gives you options not even cry when you pay off all your data all of a sudden we say when your options option let's say option is obey me and invest more option is obey this car to okay these are some of the things yeah money because the options no so multi nneɛma bebree hey na de bi enkoye one way nko a it's not usually no you preach say you be way all these boxes are checked that then you bet me move forward then the question of the the topic of today no bet me because we need to make sure we are not doing things in the right way because a bit me too if Korea start to say mortgage, you want to be on the right path, you want to be doing the right thing. So let's go over the questions again before we say, hey, can we pay off our mortgage? One, are we in control? Before one, are we in control of our money? Telling our money, the money is not telling us or directing us what to do, and we are directing the money. Number one is pay off your consumer debt. That means CNDOBACA. Number two, you build the emergency fund. We have something to fall off. Number three, are we investing 15% of our income? And number four, your college kids here, are we funding future? That's you put money for the kids if you have one. So now, okay, if we need to say time or so now you beat me to your crown. Should I pay? Why should you even cry or I pay? Let's be honest. There are two schools of thought about paying mortgage. If you must say paying mortgage, especially low interest rate, it doesn't really make sense. Whilst I will pay mortgage because you can invest that money or say stock exchange, which has been averaging about 10% for the past 180 years. So why do I have 4% a mortgage of 4%? Then why do I have to go pay your friend said 4%? I don't know, me invest says can na me continue na me tria me your friend saying me tria me mortgage. So should I pay off my mortgage? Tiyeshe kakra wa hanom. Mami fa the reason why sometimes you say you tria mortgage class sometimes a question about up see you tria a mortgage. Tino me pese me de maybe share my screen with harmony share why sometimes it makes sense see before you go back to that question and say either so be invested and I say we call we say your infancy way more mortgage a year for calculator right say your 400,000 mortgage if you say 400,000 mortgage now say if I say to 20% to avoid PMI it's 80,000 a day twice here near 30,000 30 years fixed interest okay 30 years fixed year no okay and the interest a year 7%. I'm talking of now your mortgage might be different interest especially our mortgage what your mortgage long time look at be over 4 be or 4.5 but I'm talking of now this is how it is right now no sense we mortgage as at today see this one that say this mortgage that's your 30 years by the time I entry mortgage in no for 30 years no near 766,440 Nti si yɛtua every month bia because yɛhwɛ a principal and interest way taxes ni bia mfa no nka ho yɛde 2,129 no sɛ no nkwa na yɛtua your friend saying we need the other ones need the now you have to pay your mortgage, you have to pay your insurance, you have to pay your taxes, you have to pay your HOA and all those things. So I know you're part of it. And you first cost be a won't me any free account. It's we are near 2,129. It is your share. By the time I in train, you have 766, 440. It's your mortgage of 400. That means your pay your interest alone 366,440. 366,440. That is sika na yetua. It makes sense sometimes ni betua says can every because we just can win na tua. It we no be say okay. So we try who says we tua 366 na 366 na. At the same time, no, mortgage is 7%, right? But some invested that money now, and commit to win that money, no, a me more because me 10% instead of the 7% na me tua. It's true, it makes sense because this is no brainer. Say interest me no near say you do two accounts me no back 7, back your friends and 10. Na ni nyinaa no ebe your friends ebe ma saa yi na ada na wɔsɛ me de call 10 nim na ade ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ yɛmu bebree hɔ a yɛn factor risk, right? Ɛyɛ true, yes wobɛnya because sɛ woyɛ saa calculation na yes the numbers no be we all the time, but let's look at the risk involved. Mehu obi a watua ne dan ka yɛbɛgye dan no free ne nsɛm watɔ dan atua wie ba bɛgye free so anaasɛ obi a wɔn ka nearby nearby teacher say the cat nearby will be because that's number one. Number two, share steady. Now see a cost say Oma di e was same Oma omusika sem etotoso ye. And so if fancy to say be a millionaires and I be sa a war United States no. Omo adi ebo omo ema omo net worth of net worth millionaires. I'm not talking of cash. Net worth, that means house, be 401ks, retirees, this anyone now combine. The man who say a boy be brave, nipa be brave na what's the move be 60, 70 something percent no. A dear boy more net worth it me drew on. Pay off on. Now you now see usia so ye bibia, we should be a wire no. Amana yi na udinech. To say the American, yes, what the numbers ni shim say me kwa invest here obinya. But who say all the time no, these people now omo yes no, omo very stable, omo nyama omo sika sem koso ye ade because say we you die free one di obi aka share nyama ya koso no, me me consumer debt free ho, me emergency fund of 30,000 am cheap. Be save 15% of my income. Our retirement me. Na metimi atua me dan so free ho no ma. Emma afi bibia wo bia no change what adwene the way I see drain cry change who co business bi mu a the way I see come no change it is different things because so when you be aka na who co business a utimi kire the opese otwa because when you be aka and even crowd wo adwuma na adwuma no mpa because you hwe nipa bebre e wo adwuma no mpa so hwe ma nipa be 30% na adwuma mo ye no but because they have mortgage, they have bills, they have bills they're credit here, but they have payments. Because we just see any if I cry on your example, you may be on my yankee, quick crew monkey, meeting a check a cry fine. But our mortgage or near my bed, waiting I could do more than 2 months crowd. Hey, so to me, say I'm through on that, said they make them options be bree. Your share, the obi a why BB. Then a custom now we're militating and as a Westiano. Even though these numbers no we no, but we need a peaceful way. And my own hustle and struggle that won't dream yama be brave. It to me in the instead of some investing, I'll pay off my house. But a situation whereby I say I'm paying off my house. Paying off my house, no, main rush because what it is see a share near my ya and son, you drew and son, you start here to ya sacrifice be bree. Ya sacrifice you are near the school car. Ya the car this animal, you sacrificing you tree as animal in fro. Into a statistic tree mortgage whereby I say, ya life ye. Ye be to ye bosom in a swan. Ye treat ye near money in a heavy. I will say, yes, we says, can I was a vacation? Ye be a true event, you say, this can I be castle and no, and how the baby too at the house. Nti enye bibi a wo so rush gidi say e dey wo so na so but what it is ebu ayi ne go so betua ne dan ka wie so wo hwe sa stage na make be those people na mo tua mo kind of poor mo network e course no omo a omo ye omo go nipa bebre omo timi tua omo dan uh between 7 years 5 to 7 years no mo tua omo dan ka wie because omo dey omo go nti bi ono no wo ye extra job continuously no wo dey betua free ho no but so wa anya ne sa akra na wo ye steady when you be a canadian because if you want a cabby brainy idea, mostly a chunk of your paycheck, no, it comes to you because which ya or danka na the obedi kakra utilities are be a whole car payment to share. It makes sense, say at this point, no, you intentional before then, very intense. You try say you struggle, see be treat your son from, but at this point, no, you're steady, intentional. Now, if you start each year, but you will go, you can do whatever it takes to be able to pay it off. Hey, you make sure say we are having because there are some things that also in here away life memories, vacations. I was here call yeah, madness animal na here pa I was here yes animal na be but the be make say if the cabibra you have no business doing that. Take care of those things the way you move by be prioritize that no I know as compared to say your friend saying you be vacation you know you the card that I said I got two credit cards near say vacation to me it doesn't make sense you be brave sad and bills no a pile na echo now if you do point me no vacation no crowd me because if you do point me to chat or credit cards near the so won't mean to be more it makes sense say best sacrifice a year or two not taking care of that now if you wait me vacation continuously because we take control of your finances not be beer to 2 years na nime koyi a undi obi aka na ultimate plan year for your vacations and this animal which is very important in our lives too you hear those memories na ni ade you hear and chese ni de bia na ebe ye adwuma saa enye de bia me kasa enye say ase ba wi ase say ye me ko school ye me ye adwuma na ye ntua bills na bia ya ware na etua ya wo na afi ye tua bills na ewu na ekọ no nyama bebree wɔ sɛ ɛyɛ wɔ yɛ life which is very nice. I was said the American memories near idea we share with the loved ones and those things. I say who chichiro sa ya won't me yes anema. It yes, it makes sense to be me if you free ho. Ne mum the before so be to free no. These are the steps I was here beside ho and I didn't here because if you taught down 400 7% interest. That means we are giving the bank 366,000 as interest alone. So yeah, it makes sense. Make say you invest it and as you trade and can have low payment interest rate. Yeah, it's a numbers in the wood yeah. We say kautia ka invest ya ka bi anka ye. But there back we say the risk because in this economy now is very, very volatile. Volatile go back and forth. Bibi atimisi. TV invest in the crana na BBC and say actually be 5-6 years no nya warning be about recession as any one it changing your memory and at the man say good crown say imagine say you are paying 2,129 right as every month now no, that money is not going anywhere, it's coming to you. How fast can you save now or more interested in some metal be dealing with real estate no how fast can you save money and go and buy another one it makes sense sir who be brave say be more no or start so tua kakra na utimi ye equity ba so de akoto foforo no they call it's good there but who says you have to really know what you're doing and we need 100 be yes na but 10 years time we say 2 pay and that's 10 years because economy go back and forth Nti sɛ ɔwɔ dan 5 na wontua ne nyinaa nwie na sɛ biribi si na sɛ ɔwɔ mu ntumi ntua na abɛyɛ wo kaa wɔ sɛ wotua. Nti ɛyɛ saa na ɛma ɛha adwene. Nti bere hɔ nom a at that point bo sɛ bi ɔkɔ akɔlusu ne dan ko. Na mmom sɛ woatua wo dan ka awie na wokɔ the next one so a ɛyɛ gradual, it's going to take you there, but ɛnyɛ fast sɛ deɛ ɔmo ka no. But no ɛyɛ very solid, very stable. Woni obiara ani asɛm wondi obiara ka. Nti da biara no wo sɛ nneɛma ɛkɔ so sɛdeɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɛsi kɔ so no. Nti no these are the risk na meka no, the risk involved no. Yie no free hɔ no akɔ. Especially you want to make sure that your family no matter deɛ wo take care ansa wo mfa no nkosi awowa na akyire no akɔfa biribi abro. Nti no the next question from this no ɛyɛ sɛ yɛtumi akyɛke all these boxes there. Ɛkwan bɛn so na ɛbɛtua na yɛtua no very fast. Ɛkwan bɛn so na ɛbɛtumi atua na yɛtua no very fast. So that is the question now. Say biribiara yɛ okay. Yɛtumi make sure say now no yɛakyɛke all the boxes. Biribiara ɛkɔ so kama. Nti no na yɛbɛtua yɛ fie. Kwan bɛn na yɛbɛfa so yɛbɛtumi atua no very quick. Nti ɛno ne the topic a bɛka ho asɛm. How can we pay off our mortgage and pay it very fast? Mami fa numra ne yenye no discussion. So that's all. Minim sɛ wotie anaasɛ wopɛ sɛ ɔkasa wobɛtumi wopɛ sɛ ɔkasa wobɛtumi ama waba so. Yo. Ti yɛhwɛ yɛ topic no for today. Topic no how can I pay off my mortgage? How can I pay off my mortgage and pay it very fast? How to pay off your mortgage fast. 5 tips. All right. Yo, it's now I go through the questions. You're hearing you sit here. The first one is say DNA. You make sure say you put extra payment on the house. Extra payment. Say the if it's your goal different. Go and say I want to pay off my house maybe in 4 or 5 years. Then you do whatever it takes. But yes, son, I'll go crashing after our expenses because of the way I will see live with life. No, you want to come amount. You are not rushing. You are not taking more those risks. No, any idea? That's it. Be ultimately okay. You know, be to year we are life. We every month. No, your expenses be really no. Then you throw into the house. Then you throw into the house. Then you throw into the house. Once all of them, a 30-year mortgage. Nanka which are 30 years nanka which but when I started reduce the amortization the way it's here and say usually you see money or amount a scat or dine scanner so most banks don't make sure say chunk of the money from you early ages now early stages now say by the time 5 years the 10 15 years no say 30 years by 10 years no I didn't see can I said yeah akaso ni na agree man. It usually no yɛhwɛ te sɛ deɛ yɛhwɛ no yɛhwɛ ha sɛ if say you make a small mortgage 240,000 mortgage for 30 years right 200,000 for 30 years na 7% the payment be 1,597 so we calculate 1,597 first payment no buhuana bia be $90 and a principal no so but the actual amount be 1,500 no ni nyina interest ni it is opposite to make sure we save because remember one of the reason why I tua in term year free on say you save more interest save more interest it is a 400,000 house now. The 400,000 house now say you start to see you tria you fan say you tria more account one but be a 15 years now instead of 66,000 but be a interest of be 120,000 you try as much as you be treat and quick when free one right na mmom ade baako so say usually no wotua these days saa nneɛma no change wotua extra ka ho a ɛwɔ sɛ ɔma company no yɛ aware these days is different. You can log in, so the extra you can put on the principal straight. But when this type now, we will be able to send a check. This animal now, we no fan two seconds because we brought more package because they know what you are trying to do, Because when you say the more I would try quick, no, almost lose some interest or also. Into one moment, where they will stash somewhere. Where say this is the plan, this is what you're doing. See, any extra money, you know, fan principal also. Hey. Make sure say we just pay ne saa kɛkɛ no ɛde ayi baba nti yɛnyɛ ayi kakra ne yɛhwɛ adeɛ wɔ ha yɛhwɛ yɛmfa sɛ sɛ yɛ schedule payment for mortgage a yɛhwɛ sɛ ne sitie yɛnyɛ small way bi mu ha na yɛhwɛ sɛ ne ebesi ayɛ a ebetumi ama yɛnte aseɛ yie nti we yɛwɔ 400,000 mortgage, right? 400,000 mortgage. So 400,000 mortgage, you know, each year, if I say for now, no, each year, okay, be any hands to say for a static year, 2000 November. See, kasi each year, if I say right, each year 2,200, 2,129. That's our mortgage, 400, you know, it is here. By the time I enter, you know, if you will cry now. By the time I enter, you know, we cry the amount more. Need to your friends at 958. Hey, it's your first say no. Ubia be quite juma, the bia me do a jumum. It's spend about $10 over jumum. Miss okay, now I'm me try me share my mortgage free one. Me try say now no me share baby a mini skaka crabby. It me sacrifice say me be an quite juma every day. The 5 days no say $10 I'm spending $50. Right? 50 times 4 is 200. It's my emergency every month biano with the 200 extra to my mortgage. So it's 200 extra to my mortgage. So yeah, the say every month be the 200 to so. Okay, that alone is saving me. Interesting, is saving me 126,617. It's saving 5 years, 5 years, 9 months off the 400,000 mortgage. So difference no. Just $200 a day to so. The 200 a day to so no. Every month I must sacrifice it. I'm not eating out. I'm making sure say me try that alone no, is saving me 5 years, and then the interest is every year 126,617. The more I would be too no, not the more interest in the echo form. It we just you crowd the emphasis class say I spend just $50. Sorry, I spent $5 a day. $85 a day, crowd, 100 for 5 days, no, right? 100 yeah, 100 for a month, because $25 for a week times 4. It would emphasize $100 crowd to so for a month. And of course, if you 72,857 interest alone. Okay, the command financial institution no maybe say we are 3 years, 3 months. 3 years, 3 months. So it yes, it makes sense. You bet me and you so you make sure say the more to so. Me person me this kind of question. Nipa we born more after you treat your baby we no money kase to go because I cry and mean you should. But what I want you to I just want you to see from a different lens. Say if you want to pay it off, you can start by small. And found it doesn't matter even if it's $20 crana, it's still doing something. And the good thing is that when you start doing it smaller, then you start seeing the light at the tunnel. Now, what's the start to change? I forgot say it's the extra work also because now you can map it up and say, hey, because me 200 now save me. A friend say 5 years, right? Now start saving this amount. What about say me double no 400? Say double no 400. It may say if it's 400, a double no 400. It's save you 200,000. 200,000 no in 9 years. 9 years. 9 years. Oh, it depends. so we also started here, it change bibia because once started there, I say problem you talk, no action. It doesn't go anywhere, it's still the same. Talking in yashi, the action in it one kasakra action na no boa. Hey, to go on kasakra no start pay off. Go metria analysis of process. The biani yes adness ya in chashi. Yet you make ni bia analysis na ye paralysis na ye wo ho. You make sure say you we cry your fast say the 1,000 to so ascend beko. Say bas 1,000 and ye to so. It change sa nema change sa we ni nyina yɛhwɛ kra sɛ 500 na yɛde to so a sɛ na ɛbɛkɔ 500 sɛ bi yɛ 10 years nti almost your friend sɛ 11 years nti no house na nka bɛyɛ 30 years no na bɛhu a ne yɛde 19 years and some month bɛyɛ 2-3 months ne yɛtwe awie nti no make sense sɛ yɛbɛtua afiri hɔ no it make very good sense sɛ yɛbɛtumi ayi saa yi na afiri hɔ no yɛhwɛ the next one yɛbɛba back here but yɛhwɛ the next friend said the next year I was say yɛtumi yɛ ɛbɛtumi aboa yɛ ama yɛtua afiri hɔ nom yɛtua afiri hɔ nom quick the next one okay so the next one yɛmfa sɛ number 2 ɛwɔ ha so yɛtua yɛyi your friend said we afiri hɔ nom extra payment the extra payment no ɛne yɛka now at the same time extra payment no so no we have another strategies a wobɛtumi ayi so a wobɛtumi de atua those payments no one of those payments no say mortgage which every month be a wotua biara no in fact say mortgage of go back to 400 no so be mama em say me say go back to the calculator no so you in fact say your mortgage of 400,000 mortgage na say you tua about 400,000 mortgage na say you tua 2,000 if you're 2,200 and 2,200 and 2,129 that mortgage see you tua 10% of the amount na you tua no the 10% of the amount na you tua no usually let me see 10% of the amount na you tua no be saying 10% I think it's 219 ba I didn't calculate 2129 it be 212 plus 2,129 it be 2,341 in for 2,341 extra na ebetua na mfa hyem ne nhwa de see tua 2,000 that means every month biano instead of say a regular payment of 2,129 yeah, the 10% of it come. Remember, I'm not saying say zero say you will go a different but where you in area we life in every what you name in area no so extra now between the 10% account the 10% no which is extra 200 and if I say 212.9 see they no come it's almost 6 years every 6 years 6 years you have to be 6 years off now save you 133,000 interest. The goal is to pay 13 months. So if you pay 13 months, usually about 7 years off your mortgage. Into 13 months, no, if you say maybe more no be 1 month or say at the end of the year, no, 12 months, we are 30, metia ba kwaka ho. Be brace there be intimi yes at that time no me won kora Christmas time me beto nyama mo December metua no metua extra intimi ye metua no ntem. So we divide 1 month we divide by 12 na what chegu ni nyina so a the same thing na America no. Until every month be an utua 10% more of the wose utua which is utua 2,000 about 2,200. So the mekai no. So utua say na make sure say we log in you put that extra on your principal. So we be out sending check in let me remind you, you have to call the company now. You say that extra money na ɛka ho no, I will say it go towards the principal. I say I'm stuck in somewhere else because nim the opesa way. Opesa o man we aduane free hɔ no. Almost omo nya omo adwin so omo de bema. Make sure say what it sa the friend say we make sure say omo ma ya aware what is going on. Make sure so omo ma ya aware what is going on. Yeah. Another thing I bet me I so another thing so yeah. Let me see. Another thing, you find say 13 months no one bet me a bi week. Bet me a bi week. That means say every year no, every month year. You find say every month year no, yeah 2,200 and about. I was distracted a little bit. It's 2,200 2,129 divided by 2. You bring 1,064.5. Every bi-week be no tua. Remember, you were 26, you were 52 weeks in a year. It's no tua na babe 13 months because be 26 bi-week 26 months. In that situation, you know, go say all of a sudden, no, what tua extra 13 months. No, instead they make the goal in and say you be tua 13 months. The 3 weeks I bet you 30 months. One between your train month and I end the crowd, a year and I end the crowd. Then we try the next one. And I say end the crowd. I say one in Tema, we meet you. That is fine. But I don't know. And kicking I tell say the last one answer 2. We bet by week by dividing the same amount. Can I amount now? And say you have to tell them first. Say if we log in so say we try sana. We won't say and automatically never cost through be year free, but you have to let them be aware. And I say which you 10% more of your mortgage. That a bit me abwa ama no so every. These are the extra money will be me di atoso. The extra money will be me di atu mortgage so ama mortgage account. One I say money be say sacrifice here. Yes, sacrifice say you make sure say year free honoma kakra bi ebenya bi ede beto so bia to say make $20 kra na it make a big difference. Make a big difference. You make sure say society per se yeah 30 months every year. You be 30 months every year. That would knock 7 years off it. By week, which year by week, but which year the same amount and which year half of it into 2,000, which year 1,000 every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, which year 2,000, and also at the end, remember 30 months, and I said with the 10% of your mortgage in 2,000 with the extra 200 come which is 10% now which is 2,200 and also no at the end of the year no about 13 months. Remember 20 no hey once a times 4 no at times your friends and 12 no you come out the same amount no these are we a bit me fast na yetimi your mortgage na free no you share the next one. So say the can say make extra room in your budget. You move be brew honuma what try they also try so to me mortgage free or and so to me this extra to so or go back try a share kind be on person be extra pick up extra jazz because we bread why juma kakra to me treat and okay for any day for be 4 5 years on person baby bia for so long but person me free honum. Two things you have to cut expenses and that's also increase your income. So why are you some people be increase your income be extra then you will see a cut expenses. Anytime you see cut expenses be maybe you will see a budget or budget or near start share budget anymore. A DNA budget no e be a bit me a year free one a bit me am I extra am I a free home. A DNA budget we go through the budget say they make an budget in your control and your budget in the control yeah. Board must say a budget yeah I say a restrictive too much. No, a wow dear. Into now control. We make sure that we the to in place are unrestricted. We now control budget. No, baby, I higher pa when it comes to our budget. Groceries, especially our families are more and near them. Groceries, BBA, yana usually is spending more. We should steady say Americans say to aduane bebree ni ato ne nyinaa egu. Eto bebree ni ato ne nyinaa egu. It is all you be a person ultimate tua we from ya. You can start looking at those places. Making sure say we still aduane bi a bi. Aduane de ye ba ye be so aduane ni na nti eto di here yento just like that, you know. Also especially we kind of brodo ne ade no, you know, ye to ne ade be go na ni na ase ne asa akoto ni na egu. It start from that's our groceries. Starting free groceries are with me and making sure say we're bringing it down, making sure say nyama ye ta uta utubuni na no in there free. Number two, I did baby chance back baby back a hustle ya yenya de ho a cable. You see, steady trace you will be honma. We pay about 219 more a month more than it was in Kichia. Because the cable companies they have a different way of especially bundle niamano. These days nipa send use home phone. It's because here the home phone, internet, TV near the account. Near the end sama. The end sama wa ufi say you are not anyway they be 300 pay. By here sa home phone no. Ebia usha me internet because it's a TV crowd. Most people we don't use the TVs. Most people use TV no. Hey, your different streams are streaming it eshe. In Koran Krobo, because no cartoons near the Nabit. It started look what imagine says it miss 219 every month. Start a steady nature, say spending more than that. That in a way, 202 or 400,000 mortgage, you know, in that year. Severe about 120 something thousand interest, and the my 6 years or so. 6 years, severe 6 years or 5 years. Into a baby, I was it started show. Another thing I was here, maybe it's be insurance. You manage risk. We want the car auto insurance. The company no on your more for a long time. Sometimes no, it was so ultimate eshe. Ultimate pick coat, oh baby. Now he's in because if you want we are doing everything right. We are auto insurance. When you ticket that when you we just say you are doing everything that is right. If you are shopping around that, a bit your mouth baby. Be a huge amount be a bit in your bow. Nemum a dear won't be life insurance because life insurance here. The more I win in the neck I mean you can shop around and see, but most likely no, yeah, when years life insurance but other insurance, mortgage insurance, you know, mortgage insurance, or any auto, and that's a rental insurance. Those two need usually shop around that tar or tenyeska. Imagine seeing $50 crowd a mortgage. If I see a bed 25 for Hanma, say and a ma yetimi. Some open so bemwana. Okay. Yo, etino. 25 crowd na. Some person kasa ma me ya wa mute yourself. One person o ma me ya wa. Memo akasa. Yo, it's 25 crowd na. Unya 25 or mortgage. For mortgage insurance, when you're 25, or your friend is saying, car insurance, a 50. No, a bit may go towards the house. Crabby out between the only office. And so remember, try say the taking interest, no more making sure say, quick and stand at one. That's when you for so and son one start here. And he said, 1,005. First day year and a year. Just the more would piano. Na I say sort interest na call mo no Nti wotua 1,500 be a first payment be $50 per. Ya kan na interest. Second month wotua 1,500 ni bi mu a be $55. Ya kan na interest. Third month wotua wotua 1,500 be a $60 per na principal no so. Ya kan na interest. Nti wohwɛ by the time I wondru be 1 year no, let's say interest almost sunny free ho no, the next year no, interest free ho no. Let's say omo no omo ye nya omo sika nya awie. Let's say the aka na a gravy. Nti wakyɛ kra 10 years die. Omo te omo sika ka. Let's say the aka no de e mfa so nko a. Nti sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyi so a wo sɛ wotumi yɛ no quick na yɛ ne ntɛm. Ɛna kakra bi a de bɛkɔ biara na wode bɛto so biara no, ɛte the interest na ɛkɔ mu hɔ no. Ɛte the interest na ɛkɔ mu hɔ no. Nti that's how ɛwɔ sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ a wobɛtumi ama no wɔyɛ afiri hɔ. Wo make sure sɛ the interest na ɛbɛkɔ mu no wote so. Nti no sɛ 1,500 na wotua ma ɔmo a na sɛ wotua 1,600 a na ka sɛ yɛmfa into principal no so a remember the next time no instead of say kebi a 1,400 bɛkɔ ɔmo as interest because wotua 100 no nti no ɛbɛyɛ 1,300 na ɛkɔ ɔmo. Nti wo sɛ the more a wo so wotua no na wo so wogye chunk of the interest na ka wo sɛ wotua no na wo so woyi firi hɔ na wo so woyi firi hɔ saa na afei ɛde kɔ. Nti yɛ make sure sɛ kakra biara nsa emu ofi sɛ o wei de 20 ayi pɛ ba ne nyinaa bia ne hɔ nsa. Yɛbɛkɔ commercial break yɛkɔ commercial break ba na yɛbɛtoa so afiri ha no. Nti no montwɛn yɛba. Yampa Jessica Yano, the hint me. This is your boy Patrik Barfi, High Life Radio now. Discussing program no and hey, your topic na how to pay off your mortgage fast. 5 tips. How to pay off your mortgage fast. 5 tips. I think that near what the third one. I think you call the third one. See, if you see it fast, at the end, you another one. You be say you be pay off. You be refinance it. Refinance so a BBA and yet for ubia. You make sure refinance and you BBA a year for ubia. Because refinance, you be ma you call refinance, you refinance ya na yasachi. Your friends say yes, no quite yes, and it makes sense. You say each year. You know, see very refinance ya. These are the questions that Nyama you hear and sana ya refinance. One, you make sure say mortgage, interest no ɛwɔ low. A change in here one. So BBI if I say at this era, at this time, you can make a question near there. Auto dying usually one motor dying before 2019, no, now around 19 honey I don't know. Will be mostly no interest rate very nice. It's around 3, 4 and all that. As I say, it's around 6 to 7. That means that disqualify you cry in advance if you want to refinance now. Because remember, you see a challenge in term, it's either you refinance because you see a bring it down. It's interest. Number one, it's interest rate, be few. Number two, yes, no, you did but your name instead of say the be cheap. Emma said you try 5 years, or 30 years, you try 5 years. Near sa refinance it, now you sign 30 years, as I in vida. It's instead of 30, maybe about 15. Dear who say usually we are sa yana usenka you fancy you a mortgage of in fact the 240,000 no that's a 30 years right say 30 years that's a you refinance it yeah about 15 years usually then KB and see pia be 1,500 can you even say can refinance it from 30 to 15 yeah and can say yeah be at 3,000 but and yes sanity because usually when you refinance and bring the years any musana interest rates no class are from think be a 7 and 30 years now usually we 15 years be 6.5 it won't cry at so kakra now at the same time no yes remember the years no abanim and sana interest rates is lower it you need 2 you know say ebeboya then the refinance no make sense am I make sense my but mum the betimi aye ne say betimi pretend it if you who amount na you betimi pretend it say 15 years 15 years in 8 years start to see you tria no 15 years no and you know you tria 1,500 30 years your mortgage of 240,000 30-year mortgage with 7% interest right it see a call back maybe I calculate the same thing now for 15 years maybe 6.5 now but maybe be a tria be 2,300 to which me pretend say a 2,200 or start to tria it's the same. Name most start to say 2,300 now, and also about 15 years in the same. About 15 years no, at the same. The air man here didn't so good ma. Say yes schedule that say I not do any tria any day. But so bit me discipline, a bit me is ana about the same, you know, refinance and you be an for refinance no. Say sanima we any juma yɛntumi ma interest rate yɛnya lower than the ɛwɔ a yɛ refinance so na years ne ate so then ɛnyɛ biribi a ɛyɛ ma yɛ downsizing wei yɛ no go area nipa bebree hɔ nom a na mekae sɛ ne brother baako ne ɛdi nkɔmmɔ ɛwɔ ayi a so ɔse onyanko bɛ downsize ne ho kyerɛ nankasa ntumi ntua ne mortgage mu so ne neighbors na hu ne nam fufuo hu bɛyɛ dɛ watumi downsize na ɔka kyerɛ sɛ kɔmmɔ ho nya nkyerɛ yie ho akyerɛ yie a wonhwɛ deɛ obi ka ho because ɛno yɛ no na ɛbɛboa wo ɛno ntua wo mortgage ne ma mortgage no wontumi ntua a there's nothing a wobɛtumi ayɛ sɛ wofi sɛ you bought too much of a house a wobɛtumi downsize it. And I said, your goal is to pay off your house. Remember, your goal is to pay off your house. Because at that point, you're doing everything possible. And so, what house free? Then, with me, downsize it. So, downsize it. So, no, so, meaning, say, a house of 5,000, a house of 500,000. Maybe crime a 250,000. With me at home, Makoto die 250,000. Simple. The downside is nina. But usually if you go on the same dynamic of person with them. No timmy a tree in every and only a different but say open into my bit me a downsize it or downsize yeah a bit me a bow I'm way free on quick. I actually the next one. The next one you put to extra income towards your mortgage. You move on your taxes. We creating bonuses were jumem. Profit sharing, those things in we run money appreciate so. Say why you ready partners or say pay off where ya. So anyone in because extra money that a beer and cancel and count budget on for any. Between the says can in to so. With this money to so and so a poor Emma Timitria house no we enter. Putting extra money towards your mortgage. I'm seeing now a year cry when he say every year be a crown and your taxes cry averagely in taxes no be about 1,800, 15 to 1,800 to 1,800 every year be out there to swap. You make calculations no. You basically a chunk of interest also the years between the years number anymore. Those are the things that say if yes you can say yes or see a fee offer. These are the 5 tips that you bit me use to edit a fee off. But before say yes, no, in the name questions, no, are we in control of the money? Yen you control is no be control my hey in be able me in be echo, you be bro on ma that level in yen row. Hey, you be bro on ma, you making more money. Hey, it's kind of better your accounts money a train the next paycheck. It's kind of better accounts money a train next paycheck because you control sikano. And I say yeah, the financial institutions no. Hey, 2 the beginning. Number 1, you make sure say and you be aka you treat your consumer debt in area. Number 2, your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Number 3, you invest 15% of our income. Number 4, you discard to her amount crown for more college. So if you're checking in idea, then it makes sense you between a tree is kind of you between a tree you're dying off. At the same time, to mechanically I said there are 2 school of thought. If you say w into your fee, no, they won't invest it. We check here, no brainer. We die 4%, we invest here 10%. Be because we a no brainer, other than 1 year. But the risk involved when we're taking it out, BBS what you are when you be any asset. Who say amount options, amount freedom, options, freedom, but you are we when you be a car, hey, come kruma, meet na ho 4, 5 months, 6 months, na me my because many will be a car, a dino crown, but we. But so won't you we are okay now the speed now cyber back about your because won't you these are some of the options are am I way. Yes, they say obey sad. by who say nipa bebree so a wɔn sikasɛm ɛkɔ yie wɔn di sikasɛm no, and as especially net worth ɛyɛ more than $1 million ɛne saa de nyinaa no, these are the process wɔn pay wɔn fie, wɔn pay wie no wɔn start so wɔn sika na nanka wɔn tua mortgage no, wɔn start so wɔn store that money na wɔn stash that money na wɔn store a different house. To be on a period of family should be 5 to 7 years to your fee. The next 4 years, no, when someone top paid off house, beam. Until now, I'm top paid off house. Remember, the sick now making a ban, and I could you try that's about paid off house now. What on us, and also mortgage be was to be able to be able. Until this time, instead of 4 years, no 2 years, no start to another house. So you third one, instead of another. About 1 year, year and a half, no say to another house. Now was paid off, because now no or multiple streams of incomes coming to them. To say the mechanism is that the only way? No, there are other ways. But we are a very peaceful, very stable, risk-free. The other ones, the risk involved, anything can happen. I'm afford to them. Now, maybe see no money because the would mortgage into now was kind of free home. You can lose your home and all that. So this is very peaceful way, stable, risk-free. Yeah. These are the things that you hear. Now, extra payment. One, you make your friends say, make extra payment. Two, you make sure say, you room or your budget. Three, you refinance it. You make sure say refinance. No, 2 things that we need. Yes, no, but form. Na interest rate no change downsizing. You make sure say be downsize it. Now input to extra income to SPB be extra apart from the direct income no in your go towards. You know, yes, and then you should do so answer our questions in your idea. Chance will be to me a yo. Guys, do you want to talk?
I wasn't really planning on it, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Depends on what you want to talk about.
Oh no! Say we're paying off home. Is it? Should I pay off my home? That was the topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what you've already touched on, but definitely, paying off your mortgage faster. Paying off your mortgage faster is definitely the way to go, so you can beat interest. Just FYI, I hate paying interest, so that's
Okay. So
yeah.
then I have a question for you. Because there are two school of thought say paying off your mortgage, right? Is mortgage rate, interest rate is 4%. If I put money, if I get 200,000 on my house, so now if I'm to pay it off, if I put that in a stock exchanger, that will give me 10%. Is it wise to pay off my home or keep it and invest?
Oh man, great question. I think you know me. I think you already know what I would do, right?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I know. So you don't fool with the stock exchange.
No. I would definitely jump into the stock market. I mean, right now I'm back playing around, but I mean, if you look at some of the stocks, year to date, most of them are like up over 100%.
Okay.
Right. So if somebody said, like for instance, you can look at Coinbase. You can look at Tesla since January. Tesla's up 100%. You can look at a lot of these big guys, and I mean, I definitely agree. Like, why put pay $200,000 within 1 year? When you could put it in the stock market. But not everybody has that large amount of money to to go pay off their house in 1 year. I mean, this is probably like the top 1% that's doing that type of stuff.
I'm talking of whereby class. If let's say, if you put in this extra 500 every extra 500, right, every month, investing the same thing 500 no, dollar costing averaging it. So no, says they still give you 10%, right? And when you calculate that, it makes sense. Say, it makes sense because remember 10%, a dynasty of 4%. So it's a mission. So not even the back of the money is 200 in there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I think it all depends on the strategy, right? So, in terms of like the stock market, no, I mean that's a whole different
yeah,
beast. But if you want to take, if you have some, you're being strategic and you have like a plan for paying off your mortgage, then that's a different story. But I don't know. I don't know. Me personally, like I said, if I had that even $500 a month, which I've been doing. I mean, I pay like $600-700 extra every month, and I've been doing it for about 2 years now. And so because of that, I've been paying down my house quicker.
good.
Um, but but yeah, I mean, it's all types of stuff that you can do.
Okay. So yeah, you've been doing it, but but still at the same time, me to me, yeah, I think say uh instead of putting in a stock exchange, I'll put in a house because of the risk, even though the amount of money, it beats it, no brainer, 10%, 4%. But the risk, because if you have a paid off home, when you be any same year, then you can start investing that other money, to get another house or do other investment.
I think
To
that's a
me,
good
the
idea. I think that's a
Mhm.
good idea. But one of the things I don't like about the housing market is the volatility. Nobody really talks about volatility when we're talking about housing, right? If the housing market crashes right now, you're done. And you have no control, right? You can't say, hey, you know what? The housing market is going down, so like I want my money back, or and if you try to sell, it's not even. I mean, you're not even gonna get what you like. Not even like you know, maybe 50% of what you like. Just think about 2008, right? And
Mhm.
so like that's the only thing I don't like about the housing market. Like I rather, because the stock market I can kind of um I
Get
can
up.
kind of like, yeah, get out when I need to. And then also, there's safe routes on the market versus the housing market. You have no control. I mean, there's no control. So I don't know. Like the volatility is the only thing that I don't like about the housing market.
But I believe the housing market is more stable than the the stock exchange because look, yeah, we are talking of 2008, right? But before 2008, time being says here, I think say it's more stable because barely do houses go down, barely.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and it's so funny that we're even talking about this. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was like, man, owning a home in America is a scam. And he was
why do
like,
you say that? Why do you say that?
yeah, because just think about it, right? So let's say if a house appreciates in value, right? If
Mhm.
you look at if I mean, everybody talks about depreciation, but nobody's really looking like deeper into the numbers, right? If you look at when you make your mortgage payment, look at how much is going towards your mortgage. Like I can use myself as an example. I mean, I've paid nearly like what I think it was like 20 grand this year or something, and it's like 8,000 went to interest, 8,000 went to the house, and I'm like, what the heck, And then other things went to other amounts went to taxes and stuff, but everybody's talking about, oh, it appreciated. Don't get me wrong. Right now, it's appreciated, right? But if you do the math based on how much I've paid since I've been here, it's my money. I mean, that's like it's the money, the exact amount of money that I've put out, I mean, around the same amount. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I
Uh,
mean, me, I think of it from an investor perspective, right? How can I capitalize on the market? But if you're talking about someone that just wants to own a house and pay it off and stuff like that, then I think it's a whole different conversation.
yeah, but if you don't own a home too, what it is if you rent every year, they increase the rent. What
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
too? But if you
yeah,
have a fixed, 15, 30 years mortgage, that's a different situation. Because what they say there, we all, um, we all have we should have a place to sleep. And whether you owe or you don't owe, that thing is gonna come in. That's why people, rather than putting the money on rent, they would rather buy. And when you buy two, you want to also make sure you yeah okay the paint is what you're saying. Say when you look at what goes into your principal, and the other one is scary. I was just making analysis here about when you buy a home of 400,000, that 400,000 home with an interest rate of 7%, which is today, right? And 30 years. So if you have to go that route and pay it in 30 years, by the time you're done paying, you'll be paying 766,000.
Man, look at that.
440. 766,440, right? So it makes sense. If you are buying, if you buy a home to try at least that means you'll be paid 366,000, almost half of the money, almost half, almost like a full, like the 400. It's in
Yeah,
either I won't pay in as much as you can, but be a free so. Base can be a free so. And also now, because at the same time, I'm off fees and no, pay that as we are net way no instead because say what the says can also add a bit extra net so if you've been paying for invest here and no more than the 366 no. Rather no continue paying this then invest that extra money no. But to me, I don't believe say extra paying. I believe so be way through because if you don't owe anybody anything. It's different. I think say Yakasa and Krada. It's
yeah,
different. We invest it when you go into business. Co-business mukrana or language is different. Everything is different. It's that vibe no crab for say uni mortgage, uni share no. Different at the same time. So no, say we pay 2,000, not 2,000 now. Now no, and come baby. Apart from you owning your own, what's how 2,000 extra is coming in? How quick can you save and do other investment? See,
that's
that's
the thing.
that's what I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like for me, I think, and I was talking to somebody about this this week about how I missed out on opportunity on the stock market, where like, there's all these stocks there because you know how like stocks went down, 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 down.
Yeah, yeah,
2021, 2022,
yeah,
and they all came back nearly back to where they were. Not all of them. I mean, the
yeah.
ones that have like their what's it called, um, their EPS is correct, like they're valued correctly. Not those guys that are overvalued, but the
Mhm.
ones that are valued properly and undervalued and stuff. They all came back like, I mean, 100%, 200%, 300%. So like if you would have put $10,000, let's say for example, just Tesla. I'll use Tesla as an example. If you would have put $10,000 on Tesla, like for instance, I bought some for my children. It was like $105 or something, 110. This is in January, and
Yeah.
now today Tesla's at 230. I mean, we all know that Tesla is overvalued, right?
Okay.
But
So it has double.
still, I mean, huh?
A double, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So 100%, 100% return. And if the only thing about stock market is that sometimes you can't really predict how things can, like a war can break out and everything starts, everything goes down. And people start to panic. Some of these metrics can go the wrong direction and people start panicking. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But even with that, I still think stock market is better than,
The housing.
owning the home is good, but like, I don't know, like I think now I'm looking at it from an investor perspective where like
Mm.
I wouldn't, so like I would rather go buy a home, right, with like a large amount of land, and then subdivide that land and build the exact same size home that I have, and then sell it for that similar price. And now, before you know it, you'll get the house that you bought originally. You'll have that house for free.
Yeah,
Like
it
that.
makes sense.
That kind of thing is what I'm interested in, because just living in a home for 30 years. I mean, who's gonna live in a dude? Who's gonna pay for this for 30 years?
People
I
do.
mean,
There's some folks they've lived in their home for a while.
yeah.
I
See,
mean,
that's
on average, I think it's about 7 years. People move after 7 years, but there are some
yeah.
folks they've lived there for a while. Um, yeah. So yeah, but okay. So you keep on talking about Tesla. Tesla.
Hmm.
You know me. I'm not a fan of a single stock, right? So isn't it risky? I know said your kind, but isn't it risky rather than getting
like an ETF?
Yeah, indexing or
Yeah,
indexing or mutual fund than just a single
yeah,
stock.
yeah. I mean, like the thing is, you have to understand how the game is played, because the stock market is just it's a game. So, like, I'll give you an example, like Tesla. Um, I bought some Tesla options that Tesla is going to go to $240 last week,
Mm-hmm.
and it went to $240, right? And then I took my money, I sold my contracts, got my money out, and then I mean I knew it was going to go way beyond that, but I just immediately, because you already know I lost some money on the market already, a significant amount. So I don't want to waste
Yeah.
time. Any profit that I see, I just grab it, at least 30%. So with me knowing how this thing goes up and down, Charlie, when it's going up, you go with it. When it's going down, you go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't be greedy. Just don't be sitting around. Now, if you're owning shares, that's different, right? But if it's options, then it's a different beast. But all in all, still the S&P 500 is also up. I think it's up probably by like 30% or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah,
think
something
I
like
know it's more
that.
than 15. I know it's more than 15 now. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I can check right now. Yeah, so it's okay. So it's up 18 year to date.
18. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
year to date.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't, I mean, I don't mind taking 18% gains. I mean, even if it's 10 grand and you take 18%, that's about 1,800.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's not bad. But your house is not going to appreciate that fast. On
Yeah.
the
True.
average,
True.
homes appreciate, like, it depends on the area, but it's like what, 3 to 7% or something
Yeah.
annually, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know if you can compare the two. But to answer your question, I think ETFs are safer for people that are playing the long
Holding.
term game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the guys that are looking to make income on a regular, that's probably not what you want to do.
Yeah. 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 How it's true. Everything that you're saying, especially when to be honest, I really no, you said it all. ETFs now is safer than the options now, the single ones now, more of um, making income daily basis. Yeah. But to me, it's still risky to me, on the daily basis thing. It's still risky. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing was the whole idea, the question was, should I pay off my home? I think guys they say obey mobile in an investing perspective, maybe or the scabato your friend is saying stock exchange instead of way. That means say, guys, if I may ask again, that means say on your first home, like home for you and your family, you will pay it off by the next investment, yeah, instead of buying a house, you invest. Is that right? If I'm getting you right.
That's a 50-50 right there. I mean,
So you're
because
gonna kick your family out or what?
no. I mean, if like, let's say, for instance, like, just this is just having a conversation, right? So,
Hmm.
um, let's say you buy a house,
Hmm.
and the house appreciates maybe 150.
Hmm.
So the house appreciates 150. Then you take that, and then you get on the investing path, right? I mean, how do we own more than one property? I mean, even a duplex is better than a single family home. I mean, you don't have to be some big investor to understand this concept. So, if you have a duplex, is somebody's paying the majority of your mortgage for you,
Hmm.
right? While you're, like, barely paying anything, or you never know, the person might be paying the whole thing, depending on how it's structured. So, I mean, I've thought about it like that. Like, why don't I sell my current home, and then
Hmm.
I just need to have more than one home, and have someone paying, if not all, or like, most of the mortgage, so I don't have to pay nothing. And people are doing it. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's the.
but don't you think it's risky? You know me. Say I'm not gonna go
I
that
know.
route.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
you
mean,
know, it's not risky. Let's say you have 4 or 5 houses, right? So let's say
mhm.
within you bought a home, 2 3 years, right? Maybe things going very quick. Then you have like maybe 30 or 40,000. You take it out, buy another house, then another bed. If I say baby, another bed 2 3 years. Now you have two, so you can take here. To emphasize within the 10 years, you have 10 houses. Oh, sorry,
Now that's
about
risky.
about 5 or 4 houses. Also,
Hmm.
that is risky. So you want that maybe one, maybe two
Yeah,
two houses, then
yeah,
steady, then
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. No, no, no. So like, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying, like, right now, right? If I was
mm,
to sell my home, I would take out the money. Like, once I sell the home, I get the money, and
mhm.
then I would try to get a home with a lot of land on it, right? And
Okay.
then try to build other homes on that land. So subdivide it, right?
Hmm.
So you subdivide it, and then you probably get a loan from a construction loan from the bank. The bank might give you, who knows, like if you're going to build a $500,000 home, you get a loan for maybe 250 or 300. You build that, you sell it to somebody for 500. You just came up,
The
for
200.
yeah. So that
Mhm.
kind of I think that kind of approach is probably, from an
Mm.
investment perspective, is probably
Yeah, I haven't
like,
looked at it that way. May
yeah,
share
yeah,
it that
yeah,
way. I was on the other side thinking, say, yeah, but where it depends. It depends on the area too. I don't know.
yep.
In Northern Virginia, are you gonna get a place where you can do that?
Oh yeah,
You
they
know,
got a lot. They got. I mean, well, so I've
but
been looking.
mhm,
But the thing is, of course, you're not going to get in those high. Like, you might get in some area where it's not as developed, but
mhm,
the homes are typically like around 700 to, like, $1 million, right? The ones with the big land. So if
mm,
you do it, you subdivide it, right? Then you can, then because at the time when you purchased it, the home is going to be maybe, let's say, 700, 800, or whatever.
mhm.
The homes around there is also going to be around that pricing,
That price.
right? Whether they're on a big lot or a small lot, and
Hmm.
so when you build yours is going to be right. You can price yours right around the same as what's
The extra
currently
one.
there.
Yeah.
So let's say if your home was 800,000, if you want, you can build your house, and then you can have your house. You can sell your house for like maybe 6 or 7, right? I mean, like, so you build the first one, you cash out on that, you sell it, you cash out on that, boom. A year later or something, you build up the second house. It's all about how much land you got. It's
Yeah.
all about how much land you can afford at a time.
Wow. My friend is that I was looking at it at taking it and buying another house and taking it and buying another house. Not
No,
like
that
the
one is
way
too
you were
risky,
saying.
Charlie. It's too
Yeah, it's
risky. I mean,
risky.
that one, yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
You saying that is risky, then it's risky.
yeah. I mean, like, I think the last time, I think you and I spoke about that a long time ago, and after we talked,
Mhm,
I was like, because I had never even thought about it till you brought it up. So I was like,
mhm,
oh snap, yeah, yeah, that's super risky, because, and then I did some research, and they were saying that, if, let's say, if you have a house
mhm.
and you take the equity out and you go buy another house, let's say if the market plummets, if the market crashes, the bank is going to tell you they need their money, so then they'll force you
Correct.
to sell and take a loss. You see,
Mhm.
so based on that, I wouldn't do it that way. I mean, no way, no way.
But can you believe said that is what is going on right now, especially when you go to TikTok, right? It's like, oh, you buy, you take home, you take your friend's equity, then you buy another one, you take equity. So they're talking of like within 10 years, you have like 10 houses, all of them not paid off, you know, then they be collecting whatever, the rent or whatever. But that is very risky. Yeah, it's very risky. All right. Thank you guys.
No
Thank you.
problem. Thank you.
Uh, anything to, share again, between me and the Nafi, yeah, baby, anything that you give it to us, because there is another way a bit me looking on that from that angle.
Yeah. I don't know, like, to anybody that's listening, I think that, you got to really define your goals, whether it's short term, midterm, long term, and then, make sure it's that you're factoring in risk, because if you don't factor in risk, you might end up losing everything. And we all know how hard it is to, come about money and things like that. So yeah, so I mean, the thing that I'll leave with everybody is define your goals and stick to make a plan and stick to that plan. So that's it for me.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so brother guys, so say you're making sure say your goals, yeah, stick it to it. Too much of risk stuff, no, so you might lose some. You might lose it in any these days. Obi like us America's car, then yeah, dang, unyana kulusu nisa yana hadri. Say your time no continue and be ending time. Yeah, share your affirmation of the week. Let me see here. And the affirmation of the week is saying, I'll say, um, I think it's wrong. Let me see. Affirmation of the week. Oh, there we go. Have here. Today, I align myself with freedom, growth, and joy. This week, today, I align myself with freedom, growth, and joy. You free yourself from um, this mortgage stuff. We can do it if you really, really serious. Say, akra bi a yɛde ato so biara ne nyinaa na reduce, especially your brother guys cannot say so wohwɛ interest a yɛtua no ɛana awerɛho koraa awerɛho nti as much as you can wobɛtumi atry sɛ wobɛtumi ɛyi ne nyinaa afiri hɔ no yo na yɛnkɔ aberɛ a yɛnwie aberɛ a yɛnka sɛ yɛbɛ manage risk yɛ make sure sɛ yɛ manage risk yɛmu bebree hɔ nom a managing risk means yɛwɔ insurance in place auto insurance and the compulsory usually entire can mortgage it's not really like compulsory but obi and hobe mortgage loan if you know kwakoto mortgage on fire into so your friends say on insurance into so so another one health you be officer usa on here health officer on who day no nipa bebree kɔ bankruptcy mu wɔ hɔ a true health insurance because ɔkɔ hospital kakra bi ɛba pɛ kɔda hɔ koraa de abɛyɛ 30,000 nti yɛ making sure say it will be as much as obi a ɔsɛ ɔsi TB our health insurance ɛbɛboa wo long term and disability insurance make sure so put all those in place and a long term care where the system over we here be and life insurance or dependent in Kwandia you have mouth to feed. They depend on you also to life insurance and more. You make sure because what Bob Brana signing when you put in place big to ABC they use it from I have to go back. We need be a court 70 a day. You don't want all those things. So it's always nice to manage risk. Always nice to manage risk because insurance, the whole definition of insurance say bit may replace saa nneɛma no a ebi a yɛntumi ntua asɛm ba a yɛntumi nyɛ no yɛgye atɔ yɛ fie yɛntumi nyɛ because sika no yɛ too much insurance bɛboa saa nneɛma no nyinaa question biara fa anything about finance you want to invest you want to manage risk you want to pay off debt get in touch your friends emails phone number wobɛtumi asɛne mfom wobɛtumi asɛne test wobɛtumi afrɛ yɛbɛtumi aboa wo na take care of saa nneɛma no nyinaa yɛde bɛsi every Monday bia 7 to 9 p.m. yɛwɔ ha discussion yɛsua deɛ yɛ so many things yɛyɛ sika ho adwuma especially people that make 150 200 100 but wonhu so bɛhyia yɛyɛ saa discussion yɛtumi aboa ama wastarte ho so before we go no I'll say make sure you save you save wisely spend wisely save intentionally and give Sika High Life Radio your boy Patrik Barfi see ya.